Right, who's starting this puppy?
You go.
Really?
I did the last
Tonight's
one.
special guest on the podcast. No. Welcome to the Boardcast. Shut up. You're not here yet.
Sorry.
You're not here yet. No one even knows who you are.
Right.
All right, welcome to the Boardcast, episode 4 million. No one knows anymore. Tonight's guest is arguably our first ever employee. He's going to clarify this. Tommy Leggett. Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
Are you actually the first employee?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just on the record, I don't technically think so.
Apparently, I didn't either. In the staff
No.
one, I said Karina.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're on par there. It's really difficult for me because my journey with Borders was I was hanging you guys opened in Collaroy and it was a big deal, and then
Because you were from Collaroy.
Hey, yeah, well, I lived in Collaroy, so it was a big deal, right? And then I just started hanging out there, and then one day I was hanging out there and not getting paid, and then I started hanging out there and I was getting paid, and I'm not really sure where the transition was, and
yeah, me either. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think for the record, because my memories, I have memories of Karina working there with you not there and me just sort of tooling around in the background,
so
and not maybe officially working. I don't know.
And how old were you at this point in time?
I think I started hanging out there. When did you think?
96.
96. So I would have been 13 when I started hanging out there.
What's the
day one.
Age difference between you two?
What year were you born?
I'm 83.
I'm 71. 12 years.
So that. Yeah.
You're 40 this year.
Yeah, I was 40 last year. I'm 41 in
you're fucking old,
I don't know,
mate.
2 months.
Wow, that's gone quick.
Yeah.
Tommy was my page boy at my wedding.
Yeah.
Just for people to get a context of the age.
That being said,
that
maybe the oldest page boy in history.
Yeah. It was just because you were little.
To be fair.
Yeah, you didn't grow. You grew late.
So I was
was 2000.
Even when I was 16.
18.
When I was 16, I would have looked like 10.
What year were you born?
83.
So
That's
you were 17.
like I said to you, I was the oldest page boy in history.
I didn't even know
and if
you
you
were
look at the
17.
photos, right,
you look
I
12.
look like I'm 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. You look like a page boy.
100%. Oh, that was why I got the gig. You know, I mean, you didn't know any other kids younger than me.
You looked the part.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
Oh, well, there you go. So some of the things that have come up since we did the early podcasts were the snow skate wake thing. I was super unsure about the wake side of it. But you told me this week that there was at some point
100% wake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
in the beginning. So the grand opening of Borders, right? So it's a big deal. There's a new shop opening in Collaroy, right? And this is not like Collaroy shops where the cinema is
Longreef
and all that. This is Longreef, right? This is what we call us Collaroyans. I don't think that's what we call us, but whatever it was at the time, this is Collaroy Valley. This is
Collaroy
I know. So this
Valley?
was so it's just a row of shops across from the upper crust. Everyone knows the upper crust. It's a row of shops across from that. What it is today, even those apartments in the middle weren't there. It was 8 shops, right? And so
weird eclectic bunch of shops.
Yeah, super weird.
Hardware
store, pool shop,
shit takeaway place.
Shit takeaway at the end.
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you
I
remember
was saying it was God, this might sound bad, but pretty much every Australian suburb has to have that shitty takeaway that's generally run, certainly on the Northern Beaches, is run by an Asian family that makes shit takeaway Western food.
Yeah.
We had that, right?
It was so bad. They literally would take a frozen chicken schnitzel, chuck it in the deep fryer, and a few minutes later it's on a bun with some lettuce and tomato and mayo.
Yeah, it was awful, but God, we had a lot of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, but like, so that opened up.
Takeaway Aussie.
Classic Aussie.
Yeah, 100%.
Shit
Right?
takeaway.
Yeah, terrible.
And one of the best pie shops in Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
Across the road.
That's right.
They'd fucking line up for...
They still do.
Do they?
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah.
People are mad for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But that was when, like, that, I mean, that was Sylvia and Fran. I mean, we digress, but, you know, lesbian couple opened that up. I mean,
Sylvia.
how progressive.
Like we've upset
Collaroy,
the
what a
Asians.
progressive time. anyway, we get
Right,
we get back. So, like, you guys open up, right? And it's a big deal. And on the thing, it was skate, snow, wake, right?
Yeah, I've got a photo.
And like that was the thing. So
It's
the grand
confirmed.
opening, Mike pulled his boat up out the front and had a couple of bikini girls with
I don't remember
with like
that.
call flute bloody signs
Like,
going
Parked on the main road.
parked like out the front of the shop, like trying to like signal that, you know, skate, snow, you know, wake shop had just opened up.
You mean like girls in bikinis?
like
I wish there was some photos of this.
girls in bikinis.
I
Like
don't-
straight up. I was like, oh my God, this place is great.
Was what?
I'm in.
Oh my
You know?
God.
I'm going to start hanging out
Yeah.
here.
And so funnily enough,
They know
so this
bikini
is the funny
girls.
thing. Actually, I only just thought of this. Like my original, like day one when you opened, I rocked up day one and I met Mike. Right?
Hockley.
Didn't meet Mike Hockley. Didn't meet you.
Right.
Met Mike Hockley. Had a good chat with him. Cool guy. I was like, yeah, sweet. And then like sort of would come past the shop every now and again. Didn't really know you at all. And then I can't remember who it was. I think it was maybe like Kipper or Mulray or whoever it was who then like
That's right,
was like,
James
oh,
Mulray.
yeah, we're hanging out there. Like we hang out there and we know Al. I'm like, oh, I don't really know Al. I know Mike. And then me and Duff started hanging out there. And like we were like I don't know, like you guys probably get it these days where like you have the kids come past the shop and just sort of hang out. Like we were like skate shop
Rats.
like to the extreme, right?
Yeah.
Like literally
It was an everyday
that period
thing.
from like when you opened, like sort of 13 for me, like 13 through to like 15, 16, like it was every day.
Mm.
I hung out at that shop every single day of my life as a kid. Like
Right.
get up, cruise down the hill, hang out at the shop,
It was a lot.
get berated by Al about like, don't you guys actually want to go skateboarding? And I'm like, dude, like I'm not into
Still say
physical
that.
fitness today. I was never into physical fitness. And 30 minutes of skateboarding, like that's enough for me. I'm like, I'm out. I'm just gonna go back to the shop and watch videos.
Yeah.
So we sat on a couch and watched videos.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was very much the OG
Yeah.
skate shop kids.
Yeah.
There was
right.
about 6 of them.
Yeah.
Seven,
about that,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, James Mulray. I remember. I've forgotten all about him. That was
Yeah.
Doug Mulray's son.
Doug Mulray's son.
Doug
Yeah.
Mulray was on Triple M for years in Sydney. He was like Uncle Doug.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
used to
Doug
call
Mulray
him.
is like a big deal, like one of the
Yeah.
like country's biggest personalities in the 90s,
He
right?
got
Yeah.
cancelled.
He
He
was
was
like-
one of the first guys to ever
He
get cancelled.
was like, to explain it to people at home, like he was the 90s Carl Sanderlands.
yeah.
Like that's what he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was the biggest radio personality in the country.
Yeah.
And then did TV
They
and
gave him a
famously got
TV show.
famously got canned by Kerry Packer.
Mid-show.
Mid-show. Just went, nah, we're not doing that
Yeah.
on Channel 9. Because he
Yeah.
was...
Kerry Packer ran
I'm sorry,
the
yeah.
station and went, get this shit off.
Yeah.
And middle of the show, he was showing animals fucking on the
Mm.
show. I vaguely remember. What was it? World's Worst Videos or Funniest, something like that. It was just like
I don't know.
gross shit. And
Was he a
Kerry-
guest or he was hosting?
No, this was
He was
his show.
hosting.
It was called
It was-
like the Doug Mulray show.
yeah, the Doug Mulray video show.
Yeah.
Got canned mid.
Mid-show.
Yeah.
He was showing stuff that Kerry Packer was so offended by that he said, get it off now. And it cut to like a rerun of Happy
Yeah.
Days or some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
But
live
like he
television.
didn't hang out at the
Surely-
shop. He didn't hang out at the shop. His son did.
His
Yeah.
Surely
son-
someone
Yeah, that's right.
would like pre-approve what he's going to do on the show.
No, not
Apparently
then.
not.
No.
No, apparently
You have
not.
free reign.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I only ever met Doug Murray once or twice. He bought James
Yeah,
a
he come in
snowboard.
every now and again
Yeah.
and would buy James something
James
like
something,
for his
yeah.
birthday or something like that. So
So he was one of the kids. Tommy,
yeah.
another guy called Duff, who's unfortunately no longer with us.
Mm.
Who else? There was
Do
Kipper.
it, yeah, it was Kipper.
Yeah.
Well, there was another guy, Rob, that come with me, and you were like,
Yeah,
man, he's
you-
got to go.
You got to get rid of that guy.
That kid stinks.
I remember that kid. Oh, what happened to him?
Oh, we were like, man, we can be friends, but you probably can't come to the show.
I was so bad. I was bad. I admit it. I literally had that
yeah.
conversation
You know
with
what's so
some
funny?
kids on the weekend, though. Like, I literally said to some kids on the weekend, how good do you reckon you're going to get at skateboarding hanging out here? Like,
Yeah.
fucking go skateboard, man.
You still like that
Yeah.
sentence
That's my-
that Tommy said. I'm like, I've heard you say that
Thousands
over
of times.
and over again
Yeah.
to kids in the shop.
Guarantee I said it to our producer a
Yeah.
few times. Like,
Oh,
go
yeah.
skateboarding, mate. Yeah.
But like, I mean, that was like it was it was a bit of a different time, and you know what? Like for me, like during that period, like that was like when I rocked up at that shop, I was your typical sort of teenager. I hated the world. I hated like everything, you know. And then Al, being the real ray of sunshine that he is, you know, I was like, I tapped into that, and then it was like, oh yeah. And so like I don't know, like we just hung out there for ages, and then you were like, yeah, like as soon as you want a job, you got a job.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, that's where the staff came from, right? The staff
Yeah.
came from hanging out long enough to know how everything worked, to know what I expected, and then just copy me, sell some shit. And he was a good hustler early on, like which we briefly touched on our podcast about old staff. That you today do what?
yeah. So today I work as a commercial manager for a like Fortune 500 company.
What does that fucking mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like that's pretty nice. I sell stickers. No, but like we're
What's the company?
Avery Dennison. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
a
Actual mega company.
yeah. So it's a Fortune 500 company that does like a whole heap of
I love those two sentences. Fortune 500 company,
I
we sell stickers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because that's like, I mean, essentially, like that's the reality of what the business does. Like in my department, I'm in the graphics department. We just walked in, like saw your car out the front. I'm like, dude, you need to.
And
like,
apparently, the bonnet of the car.
we probably
needs to
should
get
take that
ripped
off.
and replaced.
Yeah.
'Cause it's going to ruin the paint.
yeah, because the bonnet's starting to age, and I'm like, yeah, we probably.
Do you want to wrap your car?
But anyway,
My car,
yeah.
your car.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Borders car needs to have the
Yeah.
bonnet redone
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
because
Yeah.
it's going to fuck the paint.
Yeah, so that's
So
right.
that's what you learn.
Yeah, so that's what I do now. But which is like, yeah, so like I travel around the country and New Zealand and
So do you reckon
sell our product.
this is really
Mm.
narcissistic question, but do you really reckon like working in as your first job, working in that retail environment taught you much?
Yeah, I mean, look, it did, but like there's a couple of aspects to it, right? Like I am who I am today for like a number of reasons. Like your influence at the time, right? And like Claire, you've probably experienced this. Like he's, you know, like he doesn't pull many punches. Like there's no,
The rays of
there's
sunshine.
no like when you're doing a good job. Hey man, you're doing a really great job. It's just
I now have evidence.
Like, it's just like, and
It keeps coming
you know,
up. This
it
is
is.
like, we've only done like
But
10
you know-
or
but
15
you know what?
of these, and I've heard
But you know
that
what?
5
Like,
times.
and it was even like the banter, right? Like we had good banter.
We had
and,
great
like,
banter.
And the banter was basically I just copped shit from you for like 4 or 5 years until I could like learn the banter
This
better.
was not the
Yeah.
question
Right?
I asked, mate.
But no, working in the
Built
retail thing,
resilience,
yeah, like
didn't it?
100%. Because at the end of the day, right, and like
Gave you a thick skin.
like that experience with you massively gave me a thick skin, right? And so like now, like nothing really affects me, and like I deal with some pretty large projects and some large, like tens of millions of dollars worth of sales, and like sometimes shit doesn't go right, but at the end of the day, I just go, like whatever, it's just sticky shit in a box. Like we're not saving lives, like don't worry about it,
Yeah.
But that being said, like the retail thing was what I learned from working at Borders and working with you was, like the videos you guys do now, like where Al talks about a product or a board and why it's good for this type of customer or that type of customer, like that's what people come to Borders for, right? Like they come to like, I'm rocking up and I don't know what I'm doing, right? I know I want to buy a snowboard, but I don't know what type of snowboard, right? And what you guys do is you teach people, okay, well, tell me about how you want to ride, where you want to ride, what you want to do, and we're going to steer you into the path of a board that works for you, works to your budget, works to your skill level, works to what you want to achieve. And that, like, you can translate that to any type of sales gig, right? So I do B2B sales, which is like, I don't know, like it's probably 20% price, 20% product performance and 60% relationship.
Sure.
In retail, it's probably a little bit more price, a little bit more, product performance, but there's still a solid aspect that's relationship, right?
Yeah.
And when you put someone into a board that's right for them, and then they ride it and go, shit, yeah, that was right. That felt cool. They're going to come back every time, right? Because they trust you. And that's ultimately what sales is about, whether it's retail or whether it's B2B. It doesn't matter. Like, that's what it's about.
But you have a very similar experience to me because obviously I came in to my first retail, or not
probably
first.
Didn't give you as much shit as him because you're a girl.
Yeah, you still gave me shit though. But
softer.
You did definitely, like, your style of selling is not like a mall store, and it never has been. Like, you walk into to our shop and it's like, hey, how you going? When you're ready, come get me and I'll help you out.
It's also got me stuck in there for 28 fucking years because I can't. People are actually coming in the store to see me.
Yeah.
It does my hair. Like, trust my staff. I train them.
Yeah. But you've done that with me. You've done that with Scotty. You did it with Paris, and customers came back for them as well.
Yeah.
So it does happen. But you, like what you just said, the way that you sell is you're not beating around the punch. You straight bring around the bush.
She does that.
You roll with that, Don't worry about it,
Never get
I knew Tommy would pick up on it straight away.
Pull with the bushes,
I'm like, you're not getting away with
Sorry,
that.
look, this is his fault. You blame him, right?
Yeah.
You make a single mistake, like, forget it. We're all over you.
What was it today? I kept saying demon.
Demon. It's like the company's called Demon, and she's going, Demon. I'm like, where the fuck is the D? Why are you saying demon? It kills me, mate.
Yeah,
as soon as you said that, though, I looked at Tommy because I know Tommy's really good at picking up on shit like that because I taught him young.
So we're going to roll with the bushes here.
Like, never let anyone get away with fucking up. I'm married to someone who can't. She'll say things like, I'm getting up at the crack of a sparrow. It's like, what? The crack of dawn, you mean? Like, it's like, holy fuck. Yeah. How does that happen? She confuses them. So,
anyway, back to the story.
What were we talking about?
You don't beat around the bush.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
You're rolling with my punches here.
Yeah. Oh, look at her go. Go on, have a third crack. See where that ends up.
2 in a row. This will fuck up for sure. Have you got a third one?
No. I'm not even going to try. But you cut to the chase.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. Very people. That was amazing. That's the most you've ever got right.
Thanks.
No,
in selling, and you go straight to go, how much is your budget to a customer?
Yeah.
And not a lot of stores will do that. And I'm sure you carry that to your work now where you go, all right, what are we trying to achieve here? Like, what's your budget? What are we working with? And like, it's so much better when you've got that aspect out of the way, and then you go, all right, cool, let's get you the right product.
Yeah.
And then you can immediately build a relationship on honesty.
You've created a rapport straight away. They know that you're not full of shit.
And it's one of those things, right? Like, I say in our business now, like, what do? We make material products, right? And we sell them, right? But you guys sell a product, you sell, snowboard, skate, whatever it is. But when people come to Borders, what they get is they actually just get a solution.
Well, you're doing an ad for us.
But that's what I'm saying.
Use that in the opener.
No, because that's what it is.
Yeah,
like, that's what it is, right? It's a solution. You came to buy a product, right? And like I said, like good salespeople and a good sales organization goes, whether it's retail or B2B, is we're here to solve a problem and create a solution to a problem.
Sure.
And sometimes that involves a product, like a snowboard, or it might involve a rental of a snowboard or the tuning of a snowboard. Like, a guy could come in to you guys and say, hey, like, I've got this old board. Like, and how many times have we had that over the journey, right? Like, even when I was there, right? Oh, hey, man, I dug this thing out of my garage, or like, my dad died and I got this snowboard, and like, I don't know, man, is it worth anything, eh? And so then you go, oh, I don't know, like, it's actually, it's shit, right? So buy a new board, right? Oh, I'm going snowboarding. No, actually, we can probably tune this and get it back to something half decent,
Yeah, we're pretty honest with that.
We've talked about that, where you actually sell people out of things.
Downsell. Fuck,
and you
it's
go,
my
man,
biggest
you guys,
weakness.
you don't need that.
But it's not, right?
Well, it's also honesty, right?
Because it's not, because you're not going to get, you won't get the same guy coming back to buy a board, right?
No,
like,
you're right.
businesses that go under in any type of industry are the ones that can't get repeat customers. If you can't get repeat customers, you can't just bank on new customers buying one product once and then that's it.
Yeah.
Like people buy into a brand,
than
right?
I expected.
sorry.
This is so much more serious and
Yeah.
like informative than I
No, but like
expected.
that's it, right? Like so.
You've matured.
Oh, thank you. That's why I grew a moustache.
Is it?
Oh, maybe not. You know.
All right, let's get back onto the history thing
Yeah.
because I can't remember a hell of a lot of those first few years.
Can you remember yesterday?
Yeah, I'm pretty good these days. There's this pretty rough period though.
Yeah.
Where things I just don't remember timelines.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it's basically for me like where I get confused is, and you might know or you might not. The late 90s, early 2000s. I can't remember for the life of me when Mark entered the picture exactly. I can't remember when Mike Hockley bailed. Were you still around for those two events?
Yeah, 100%.
So you worked when Mark was a partner or just when he worked there?
No, when he was a partner.
Did you not have a falling out with Mike?
No.
Mark.
Did I have a falling out with Mike?
Yeah.
No, I had a falling out with Mark. Right?
So did everyone.
So like, okay, like sort of like Mike left, I came in, like, you know, to work.
Yeah.
Right? So I was working sort of part-time here and there up until 2000, right? And then I was working full-time part-time KFC during high school.
Your memory's coming back.
And you were like, as soon as you're done with KFC, like as soon as you're done with high school, you can work here full-time. So I pretty much just did jack shit with the HSC. It was like,
on the hope of working
how
at
soon is
Borders.
this over, right? and then came to work at Borders, right? And so then, I think by this point, Karina had gone, right?
Been asked to depart.
Yes, yeah. Whatever you'd like to phrase it as.
Yeah.
Beep, Karina. And so then I was working sort of like, I can't remember, but I was working full time, right? And I think it was like, we alternated weekdays and then we both worked weekends.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
That's
And so that was for a while,
We tried.
right?
We've tried.
And then I left to go overseas, right? Like I was going overseas for a couple of months to live in London. And I'm living in London and then I get...
How old were you at this point?
This would be... I'm now like... This is like 2004, 5.
Okay.
Right? So I've worked from like 2000 full-time.
Where were you working?
So so I'm working at Collaroy, right?
2004?
No. So then...
You said 2000.
So then from 2000... And then during that period, Balgala opens. Mark comes into the business. You guys open up Balgala, and Balgala's like I think from memory, like Collaroy was still just you, and that's why it was like Borders 2, whatever it was. Crap name, yeah. But then like you guys open Borders 2 and Balgala, and it's you and Mark, and I'm still working original OG Borders, and then I go overseas like 2005, I think it was. And then I wake up one morning in London and I've got texts from people going, your shop burnt down, your shop's gone, da-da-da. Yeah, it was definitely like, it has to have been 2005.
Okay, so that's a date that's like completely...
Has to be.
I've never actually known when that...
And I only know that because I was in London and I can see the stamp on my passport that said I went there in 2005. So
what months?
Shit, I don't know.
It was early,
but it wasn't winter. I wasn't there in winter.
It was definitely
why'd
early
you go
in
in
the
London
year.
winter? It was
so
it was like mid-year. It was like mid-year.
I don't fucking know. Yeah, anyway.
Because I got the text and then I called you, and to be fair, right, like normally you would, like I know when Al's in a good mood because you call Al and he'll either answer like like, it's always like a surprised answer, like, oh, hey, what's going on? Like, surprised that you've called. Or he'll go, what the fuck do you want? You know?
No, I won't.
And he didn't answer it like either at the
it.
time he did. And then he didn't answer it either like that. He was like, hey, it's true. And like they were the opening lines.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it was pretty bummer. It was a bit of a bummer.
And at the time, you were actually sitting across the road. You were like, I'm sitting across the road in the gutter looking at the shop burn down.
Yeah, right.
I was like,
that would have been early in the morning here.
Which, like, I mean, that was hard, right? Because like that was a big part of my childhood and everything. And there was, and you know, like growing up, hanging out of that shop, like to end up like working at the shop and then even just working on my own at that shop, I was like, this is awesome. Like, how good's this? You know, I'm living the dream. And then that happened. But you know, like, as bad as it sounds, a little part of me was like slightly relieved because I was like, thank fuck I didn't burn it down. Because I was certain at some point I would be the downfall of that business, right? Like I would because like it all came from the waxing bench, right? Like, and like, so we're waxing a lot of boards, right? And like, I'm like, for sure, I'm going to leave an iron on. For sure, like, I'm not going to lock the door properly. For sure, I'm going to do some. Like, I was so paranoid about, like,
that's why you never did
ruining that shop.
Yeah, I'm overseas, wasn't me.
Yeah, because I lived up the road. So, like, I would go home sometimes, like, lock it up, go home, and then go,
fuck, did I lock it up?
I don't think I am. You know? And so then I'd cruise down on my bike and check it all again. And so then I was like, well, like, I'm gutted that it's gone, but fuck, I'm glad it wasn't. Well, and I was like, I hope it wasn't. I mean, it can't be me, right? I'm not there. I've been there for ages. Yeah. But, you know, I came back and then that was when I come back from London, you were like, oh, hey, it's all right. You got a job, you know? And like, that's, I don't know, like I've always appreciated that because like you didn't have to at the time. Like I lost my job. Because you lost a shop, right?
Yeah, sure.
And you were like, "Don't worry, when you come back, you got a job." You know,
don't remember that. Jeez, I'm charitable.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, and you were like, I don't know if it's going to be at Borders, Balgowlah, or if it'll just be, I'll find you something else. And you ended up finding your job. I got back. I worked at Borders for a bit, and then Borders 2 for a bit. I then went back to London, came back, and you got me a job with Adam Lowell.
Really?
Yeah, landscaping. I mean,
sorry.
I mean, it seemed like at the time it seemed like that was a really nice thing to do. But to be fair, you're an asshole. No, he's all right. No, he's not. But no, he's all right.
No way. I don't remember.
Yeah, so I ended up doing landscaping.
I vaguely remember it.
But,
now that you say it, I go, oh yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least I got your job.
Mm.
So fucking hell. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Yeah, 2005. So
I'm certain it has to be.
Yeah, okay.
Because that was like it was my first stint in London that had happened.
So yeah, that was the moment that it forced me and Mark to be in the same building.
Yeah. Right.
Up at Balgowlah.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah, okay.
Rough years after that.
Can I ask, is Al a bit of a mentor for you?
No.
Yeah, I mean I would say he is, right? Like not so much a mentor, but like
has had an impact on your life?
Massive, like enormous, right? Enormous. So
he made me stand up at his wedding and everyone went, I was like, kill me now.
Yeah, because I mean, like it shaped me to who I am today, right? Like I said, I was a teen with a lot of angst and you know, I lost my dad when I was like 21, 22. Okay. And so yeah, like Al was, you know, like I look at me and my brother are pretty similar people, right? But what separates us is Al, right? Like I had a different role model from like 14 onwards and he didn't have that.
Yeah.
And so that sort of, we were like the same and then we sort of divided off and went different ways. And yeah, I mean, like to be fair, like I absolutely wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for Al, and the influence he had on my life. And yeah, I mean,
thanks, Tommy.
Like I'm pretty, well, it's the reality. I said that at my wedding, right? Like that was,
100%.
That was you're a huge influence in my life. And, you know, you talk about like the Borders family, like it was, like Borders was family to me, 100%. Yeah, still like family to me, you know? Like,
It's never
we
changed.
don't necessarily talk all the time, but
No, you don't have to though.
but like we can talk, like I can flick him a text every 6 months or something, and then like, or call him, and next thing you know, it's a 1 hour chat about F1, footy.
It's funny. We're on a footy group chat, and sometimes there's messaging going on, and somehow I'll be like having a conversation where everyone's listening, but yet I'm kind of talking to Tommy, and everyone else isn't really picking up on. Like, it's funny. It's funny, those group chats, because you can say something. Yeah, like I'll be ragging someone out, and the person I'm ragging out doesn't really realize that I'm doing it, because only certain people in the chat would know what I'm actually saying. It's really interesting. You know, you get an interesting dynamic when you put 10 people in a group chat.
Yeah.
You can actually be having a private conversation with everyone being able to hear it. It's strange, but I don't know. I got on really well with Tommy from day one, whereas a lot of the people, you know, you just click with certain staff and you click with certain people. Like, he was in my wedding party.
Yeah.
We made a space. Like, we didn't need a fucking page boy. I don't even know what a page boy is.
I know.
No one knows
I
what
know.
a page boy
I
is.
know.
I don't know what
I know.
that is. What is that?
You said you have a story about Al's wedding, a coming of age.
I don't know about this. Oh, I do know.
Like I didn't think you were there, but apparently you were there.
Yeah, I was definitely
So
there.
it was after the wedding. Like, we had like the wedding. I was the page boy, oldest page boy in history.
17.
Yeah, but 17, but looked like a 12-year-old, so that was okay. And anyway, so we're back at the hotel where they're staying. What was the hotel? Newport there.
Newport something or
The
other?
one next to the bloody
Near
the Newport.
Arms. So it used to be a really nice little hotel there. I don't know. What
Anyway,
it is.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
We ended up back there after the reception, and we go down and have a sauna, right? We go in the
And a
sauna.
pool and a sauna.
Yeah, it was a sauna. It wasn't a steam room. I don't do steam rooms. I do saunas. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we go in, and as we go in, there's this bloke, right? This young fella. He's probably in his early 20s, mid 20s, something like that,
Can't remember.
with a couple of ladies in their mid 20s, early 20s. I won't call them girls because that would sound weird, but they were in their early time. They were older than me at the time. Anyway, so we go in and they're topless, right? And I'm thinking, Jesus, have a go at this. This is pretty bloody good. And he goes, mate, and the guy who's with him goes, oh, do you like what you see? And I said, oh, yeah. He goes, go on then. And so the girls come over
Okay, I
and
don't remember this.
the
bit
girls
for
come
the
over
record.
and shoved my face, and I ended up motorboating two girls
Yeah,
in
right.
their
Okay.
mid 20s.
I definitely didn't see
And then I
that.
just walked out and went, all right, well, that was bloody ripper, wasn't it? Out the door, I was like,
Can
that's
you
why I
see
don't
why
think
chose the boards?
I don't think you were there because
No, I definitely wasn't there.
because
for
I
that.
remember coming
would've
back up to the
remembered that. That
room and
would've
going,
life-changing
you
for
will
me.
never believe
Yeah, right.
what just happened.
Yeah, right. Maybe after hearing that, I might have gone down.
You might have, yeah.
Yeah, right.
You're like,
I
you're
definitely was
Yeah.
not there for
Ro
that.
probably would have beat you there.
Yeah, probably. That's so hilarious. I wonder why. Yeah, I remember the girls in the sauna, but
Yeah.
perhaps I never went in or something.
I don't
Maybe I
know.
saw them come out.
I don't know what it was, but it was,
It was
Yeah.
heavy.
yeah. That was a
That's
great
good. I'm
moment.
glad that was a life-changing moment
Mm.
for you at my wedding. Yeah.
Um,
There was a lot of other events with Tommy over the years, like the favourite story of the
Yeah.
skateboard. I'm
right,
pretty
well,
sure I got
reckon
some of that
I'm just
right.
I'm gonna push pause on this because I need to desperately wee.
Yeah.
So can we just take a break?
Yeah.
Can we talk to our sponsors for 2 minutes?
Right, go.
Yeah, all right.
Fuck it.
So getting back
Do-
on track.
Oh, track.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fucking
No,
toilet.
no, that's all right. Well, we've just had a mini break, so
Had a
Well, I
toilet-
mean, you know,
Had a
like-
toilet break for
we're
Tommy.
intermission.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, 3 schooners before this will do it.
I didn't know I was saying them.
So you left for London, came back. Al got you a landscaping job.
Yeah.
So from that point
Not
to
Should
where
be
you are
mentioned.
now, like, give us a rundown of like
The
your
last
life
20 years of
between
your
those.
life.
Yeah, sure.
And also like your connection still to Borders, because I know that we also started the print shop and we were dealing with you and your company.
Right. We started buying shit off you.
Yeah, you
and
did,
that's my connection to you, and
that's right. That's
how
right.
I first met you is because you come in and you're like, you just sold me shit. You don't want this shit. We don't want this shit. And look what we can do with this.
Yeah. So I did landscaping with Adam for a bit, and then realized how much I hated it. I enjoyed landscaping, but I didn't like what I was getting paid, and you know what Adam's like. You know, he's
a good dude.
He's a good dude, but you know, I'm just calling it out. You know, the guy got married on a Monday. It tells you everything you've got to say about Adam, right? Like,
he's a bit of a
he'll never spend a dime on anything he doesn't have to. So
did he really get married on a Monday?
He got married on a Monday. Yeah, 100%. At bloody Narromine Surf Club.
Oh, right.
Okay. He didn't even have to hire the tables. I had to help him make the tables out of MDF.
No.
Yeah, so he could throw it. Oh, mate. Classic, Anthony.
I for a second thought that was a saying.
No.
I got married on a Monday.
No, he got married. He genuinely got married on a Monday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Holy
so
shit.
anyway. I
You've just had a little internal giggle then.
Yeah, he's just
like, what
you
a
know,
lullaby.
So anyway, I said, look, I appreciate the job, but I was like, look, I'm moving on. Like, I'm not getting paid peanuts to do really hard work, right? Like really hard work. And so anyway, so then I did that. Doof, my mate, he's hanging out there. He had a job at a warehouse. He's like, come get a job here in the warehouse. I'm like, sweet. So I was just picking boxes for a bit, picking boxes of adult nappies. Yeah,
I remember that too. I actually clearly remember that.
So did that for a bit. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
and I thought at that time, operations is my life, right? Like this is where I'm going to be an operations manager one day. Da, da, da. Anyway, that business got acquired. I got retrenched. I then looked in the Manly Daily. That's how we used to get jobs. You looked in a local paper and found a job actually like one block from here, right? In Clearview Place, not Clearview Place, Powell's Road.
What were you doing there?
That was when I got into the industry I'm in now, like graphics, right? So a company called Star Leighton.
Which is gone now.
Funnily enough, they've just gone into administration. $29 million worth of liabilities.
How many?
$29 million worth of liabilities, $5 million worth of assets. That'll do it. And worked there in the warehouse. And then I just worked my way up there, right? And it was like picking boxes in a warehouse manager, operations manager. They were like, look, you love talking shit, so you may as well move into sales.
Yeah, right.
And then moved into sales there, and that was when I was like, this is genuinely my calling.
To be fair,
what am I doing?
Star Leighton, I do recall you saying at some point in time, it's really rough working here because I know I'm the smartest person in the room most of the time.
Like, pretty much.
That was something you said.
That's the reason I left the business, because I sat in this office and I was like, shit. And I remember having this moment, right? It's going to sound terrible, I'm just going to say it. It's like, it's like a Thursday over, Friday over. I love to make myself a little cheese platter on a Friday over. So I've got like a little pate, a little brie, a little, some lavash biscuits. I'm punching a craft beer and eating some cheese and crackers. And I remember looking around the office and thinking, fuck, I've got nothing more to learn here, right? Like I can't learn anymore. And I don't know, like I'm... like you said before, like I've come a long way since the days of Borders, and a lot of that's got to do with Al, and I just I'm sort of I just got to a point where I was like I feel like if you're not the day you stop learning is the day you start dying, right? Like you may as well always keep learning, and whatever it is you're learning, like it doesn't have to be the most amazing thing, but like you got to keep progressing in your life and keep learning and keep going, okay, what did I do great this year and what didn't I and how can I improve? And so I ended up leaving that business, got this job at Avery Dennison, and, I'm now commercial manager, and, things are going well there. And that's where I find myself today, you know. So
there's a couple of kids and a wife.
A couple of kids and a wife along, wife, couple of kids, ex-wife, as it all plays out.
As it works out.
I'm sure there'll be another wife, probably another ex-wife. As I always say, they said, "Oh,
if there's another wife,
I actually had a joke with my first wife, my only wife at this point, and she said, "Oh, why don't you get a vasectomy?" I said, "Oh, you never know. My second wife might want kids." Yeah.
I'm sure that went
probably
down
definitely
well.
don't say that. Definitely don't say that to your wives. Doesn't go down well.
No, I'm not.
I thought it was heaps funny, but yeah.
Alrighty. On that note, what are some of your funniest stories or memories from working with Al at Borders?
Hang on. One of my funny. I said in another one of these, the funniest. I don't know whether it was the funniest or the most memorable.
You were like most funniest stuff.
It's one of the earliest things that happened where my reaction to this day, I'm still staggered that I didn't show any empathy whatsoever to someone I actually genuinely cared about. And I was like, you got to get out. There's blood going everywhere when the skateboard fell on your head.
Yeah.
Proceed to tell the story from your point of view.
So the original Borders, right? Like the OG Borders at Collaroy, it's not like the Borders you see today that's got like
professional
like racks and like things like
it was very homemade.
Borders at the time was like, it was just like Al and Mike just knocking together some stuff out of timber to hold snowboards and skateboards, right? And so at the time, the way that they displayed skateboards were basically like there were these beams that ran through the shop there, and it was basically just a plank of wood, right? Nails in it, and nails separated far enough that you could hang the skateboard on, right?
The board through the hole.
And so anyway, I don't even remember what the snowboard was or whatever. Like I think I might have tuned it or it might have been rentable. I don't know, whatever it was. And I'm an idiot, so I'm walking through, and I don't know anything about snowboarding at this point, right?
Yeah, but you knew how high the skateboards were.
Yeah, I knew that, but also I was an idiot. So I'm carrying the snowboard like it's a bloody, and it's sticking up, and I walk through, and I hit the skateboard, right? And I can hear that I've hit a skateboard, right? And I know what's up there, the skateboards. And I hit it, and I go, "Oh, what was that?" And I look up, and this thing just comes down and goes bang straight on the right. Yeah. Like you can see it,
the scars,
right?
It's still
and so boom, and I'm like sort of drop the snowboard, and I look, and I can see blood drops hitting down the floor, and all I hear from the back is, "Get out the fucking back before you drip on the clothes!" And so he shuffles me out the back while I'm just sort of dripping blood into my hand. Out to the back, and I sit on the back step watching blood drip out of the thing. And then he comes to the realisation that maybe that probably wasn't the best thing to say in the moment. Goes, "Oh, you actually okay?" Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. It was just a panic moment.
Still, fuck, it's only some clothes, right? There's a lot of blood.
Yeah, I know. I had bloody 3 stitches in my nose,
And it was your head.
I still can't inhale. I still don't. I've got to do that mouth tape stuff. I'm going to have to do that, I reckon. But it was, it was funny, but because,
in hindsight, it was hilarious.
It still is hilarious, right? And your reaction was crap. But that's okay because it was funny. It was I didn't think that you weren't concerned about me. It's just when something happens and everybody reacts in a certain way and you panic and that was your panic. You were like, "Fuck the clothes.
This is going to fucking cost me money." Yeah, that was a funny day. Oh,
so there was that.
Did you not? Can I digress for a sec? Did you not get hit by a fucking motorbike out the front of the shop?
No, not out the front of the shop. So when I was 18, I got hit by a motorbike in Narrabeen.
I wasn't Narrabeen.
Yeah.
You were out drinking.
So I actually wasn't. I'd had a couple of beers. I'd have been to the East Coast Girls show at the Newport Arms that day. There's an
ongoing theme coming up.
Yeah, well, I was 18, Anyway, I'd been there, and then we went to go to Narrabeen for this party. I was, when you have a couple of beers during the day, and then you feel, and then you don't have any for a few hours, and then you feel a little. It's like a bikini contest. And then you feel a little bit dusty, right?
Yeah.
So I felt that, and so anyway, pulled up stumps, said, "No, we're not going to do this party in Narrabeen. We're heading home." And I ended up getting hit by a motorbike, an off-duty police officer.
On a
motorbike. Undertaking drink driving.
Oh, New South Wales Police
and
Force.
She got a $600
beautiful organisation.
She got a $600 fine and a 6-month loss of licence, even though I ended up with.
So she was DUI'd.
2 compound fractures in both legs, so both bones, both legs broken.
Yeah.
Compound fracture in one. 8 weeks in a wheelchair. Another 12 weeks of rehabilitation of on crutches, learning to walk again. The whole bit.
This is the end of Tommy's skateboarding career.
Not
that it was.
I don't know if we'd call it a career.
This is the end of Tommy's skateboarding.
I was set for pretty big things then. You were gonna I probably would have been the first Olympian.
So,
would have retired.
Were you just walking?
I was out at the bus stop. We were playing hacky sack, and the hacky sack went on the road, and I was like, no, all good. And look left, look right, did everything you do, and I went to pick up the hacky sack. As I picked it up, my back was to the traffic, and there were parked cars in the lane ahead. So this lady absolutely was trying to undertake a couple of cars. And as I pick it up, with your ears, you hear something, you go, oh, it's to the right, it's to the left. I was like, oh, shit. I heard this motorbike accelerate, and I was like, that's fair income directly behind me. Turn around, look, saw a single headlight, and then next thing I know, I wake up and saw these people around me, and I'm like, where's Daniel? Where's Daniel? My mate Daniel, and they're like, oh, he's not here. And then and he pops up and goes, oh, hey man, you all right? You're right. I said, yeah, good. And I go, and he goes, I'm here, man, I'm here. I said, cool. What are you doing here? I said, who hit me? He said, oh, someone hit you. And I said, they pulled over. He said, yeah. I said, then what the fuck are you doing here talking to me, and why aren't you bashing them? And he goes, well, they're sort of with the cops right now, so I'll probably.
And it's a girl.
Classic story. The ambos turn up, put me in the ambulance. I'm pretty lucid at this point, right, on the drugs. And I said to the guy, I said, oh, what do you reckon, mate? You reckon I'll walk again? And he goes, yeah, mate. They'll be able to fix you up here. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I said, oh, it's all right. Because I'm a pretty good bloody dancer. I'm a shit dancer. And then we drive along, and my mate Daniel's sitting in the front, and then he goes, oh, hang on, where are we going? This is in Narrabeen. He goes, and we're heading south. And he goes, where are we going? He said, oh, we're going to take him to North Shore. The injuries are too serious to take him to Manavale. We're going to take him to North Shore. And he goes, oh, shit. Turns around to me and goes, oh, mate, do you reckon it's all right if I get out here? Right? He said, do you reckon it's all right if I get out here? It's just
the ambulance.
It's a long trip back. It's a long trip back from North Shore. So they just pull out, and I said, "Yeah, man, that's fine." So the siren's going, lights flashing, and they just pull up the side of the street so he can get out and go home.
That's a great story. Fucking hell! I quite clearly remember the weeks and months after that accident because I was down a staff member, so I remember Tommy not even being able to stand up. So he couldn't work. So he couldn't get skateboards down or grip. He couldn't even stand up.
Couldn't even walk a snowboard through the shop and get hit by a skateboard in the head.
Couldn't damage himself.
What good was I?
I just remember that being really traumatic. For all of us, I think we all holy fuck, Tommy probably could have died.
Yeah, 100%.
It was super lucky.
I was lucky I didn't. Yeah.
Crazy. So what was the falling out with Mark about? This is not a leading question. I genuinely don't remember.
The thing is, right,
Mark was the old Borders.
I want to try and put this as diplomatically as possible. We just we just had it was just a personality clash, right? And I'd been there from day dot, right? So it was, to me, Borders was more than just a job or a shop or it was a family. It was, it was more to it. And, me and Mark brought a lot of talent and a lot of skill set around tuning snowboards, right? Which I loved, right? That's one of my favorite memories is tuning little BJ's board, right? For comp, right? Yeah. Kid that we used to sponsor. And I loved that. I took such pride in that. And he was like, we tune it like this, we tune it like that. Because he'd done work with the Canadian Olympic team and stuff, tuning boards and shit. Yeah. But we weren't the same. We were pretty clashing personalities. And I don't know, we had an altercation and he said some shit and I said some shit back to him. and he was like, he just came at me in the shop.
Literally.
So it was on. Like, we're throwing fists and shit in the shop. We knocked over clothing racks. It was,
where's our not the clothes?
yeah. He's panicking. Oh, you know. So like, it got pretty heated. You know. Yeah, and like it just never recovered from that point. And you know, like I don't hold any grudges. Like, it is what it is. You know, like we had a little.
Yeah. You can't get along with everyone in life.
Like,
no, you don't. Deal. And no one got along with Mark.
Yeah, it's just
I had a punch up with him in the shop too.
Yeah, it's just not.
You were there.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was a bad day. I chased him with a hammer at one point. I was ready to like murder someone.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah, he had this amazing. We shouldn't bag him out. I mean, we're not saying his surname, so who cares? He had this amazing ability to be passive aggressive, like and he just got under your skin.
And you two are very similar personalities.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
So like, I find that passive aggressive style of attitude, like the way. It's like
you guys are very upfront.
You have to be kidding.
100%.
Yeah, you have to be kidding if you think what you're saying isn't coming off as right.
Yeah. Like, if you got a beef, just fucking own your shit and have a crack, right? Like, then let's have a crack. Like, it's not to suggest that me and Al have had fucking Barneys over time and argue.
Yeah, but
right?
it's like, very blunt.
Yeah, because it's like, well,
sorted
fucking hell,
really quickly.
That's shit. Like, you do a shit job, and I'm like, fuck you. You're, you know.
And I'll accept that from you because I respect you enough to accept that you're telling me to get fucked or whatever. And it ends. Whereas if someone's passive aggressive, it's like, you're just doing it to piss me off, mate. You're not doing it the right way. So,
like I said, right, like he brought a lot to that shop at the time.
Did.
Like, certainly from a tuning snowboards point 100%. Of view, like,
invaluable.
Wow, we got schooled big time. He rocked up and was like, yeah, let me show you how you actually do it.
Yeah,
and I was
never
like,
knew.
Shit. You know, and I love that. And I, even to this day, right, if someone wants their board tune, like, I would love to do it. Like, because I'm like, this is a skill set I actually still to this day know how to do. So like, I'm like, that shit excites me. I like, I like getting boards.
It's funny. It's still my favorite part of the whole business.
Yeah.
I talk about it all the time. If I could spend my whole day in the workshop just plodding away.
Yeah. You're really funny with it. You're like, someone brings in a repair and you're like, oh, and then like next thing I know, Al's in the workshop, every tool's out, and he's just like, Claire, look at what I just did.
It's not the process; it's the end result.
That's right.
End result to see something that is unrepairable.
I think you've shown me every repair that you've done because you're so proud.
I fixed a board last year, one of those new boards with the tail, where I had to replace the end plate.
The Collaroy took,
and it was milled funny.
Yeah,
and I spent, I don't know, fucking hours. I didn't even charge the Collaroy dude because you broke it, right? Oh no, I fixed it for you.
It was the demo. It was one of the demo boards, and it had gone out. But we got a bit that the bit that we got was for the next size up board, so you had to like cut the piece of metal to the right size.
I spent so much time on it, but the perfection of the repair was what.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I still love that.
And that's the thing, right? Like, we had little BJ, right, that was riding for us at the time, right?
Ben
and he was
Johnson.
doing, and he was doing like national bordercross.
He was like, no, wasn't it half pipe? I think
it was bordercross, man.
Yeah, right. I thought he ended up doing half pipe.
I don't know where he ended up, but like it was bordercross at the time. So I remember the first crack I got to do his board, I was like, okay, shit, this is a big deal. Right, like I got to get this right.
Well, he was
and I must have
I
spent like an hour on this board, right? Like making sure it was perfect, right? The board that he was getting delivered was going to be tuned perfectly, right? And he came back and he was like, like all the stuff he competed in was like 3 firsts and a second or something.
And you kind of go, that was
right?
me.
Yeah, and I was like, probably the best tuner in the country. You know,
it's funny how you take pride in it, and you're like, I didn't do shit.
100%, right?
But
like it was like, you know, I mean, I was really proud of that at the time, you know. So
yeah, you get that weird feeling, like, man, if Liv makes it to the Olympics, I'm gonna have a sense of pride, and I've had nothing to do with it. Like, she's done all the hard work. All we did was help her get some shit. Along the way. But when they call out her name in Paris, if she gets to Paris, I'm going to sit there with the biggest grin on my face.
big proud dad.
Dude, yeah, it will.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like that's kind of like it's the Borders family sort of thing,
it's exactly.
right? Like,
it's a kid.
Like like I watched her podcast that you guys did, and like I was like, she's a cool chick.
Yeah,
like she's really got her head screwed on. You know,
yeah, we didn't know that until that podcast.
I was like,
I did.
Shit,
I didn't.
You two just give me each other shit in the shop all day.
Me and her have a similar relationship to mine and yours from the shop, so I never really knew there was as much depth to live.
I feel like you have a similar relationship with a lot of people.
I do. Because like I'm trying to give people, particularly the kids, like I'm trying to give them that thick skin and some life skills, and I don't want them just to work here and leave and go, oh, it was just like working at fucking KFC or whatever. I want them to leave and go, I really kind of got something out of that.
Yeah, and as much
I've had to change the way I do it.
Yeah, but as much as like I say you don't give a lot of praise or anything like that, which I'm sure that you can like agree with me that like because of the shit and like the banter and all of that, like, you know, which is all like fun and games and joking, that when Al does actually say something serious or something meaningful, or when he does go, hey, and pulls you under your wing or does something like that, it has so much more meaning to it because it doesn't come frequently.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think the current kids are going to have very thick skins, because they're constantly being fucking praised. You get a blue ribbon for fucking competing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, here, right? Like, and this is your style. This is something that it's my style even today. Like, the more shit I give you, the more I like you. Right? If I give you heaps of shit, then I really like you. Yeah. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
No, none at all.
And it's difficult for you because
these days it's really difficult.
Because but like, I mean, this is like, you know,
PC
late 90s,
time.
early 2000s. Like,
you can do whatever you want. Say
like,
whatever you want.
gotta, you know, like, and, you know, like I hear, Claire, you talk about sort of training and leadership and da-da-da, and like it's a different style, right? And like yours
I would talk about workplace bullying.
Is the way it is today, and like 100% makes total sense, right? And is the way it should be, right? But, you know, it's a challenge, I suppose, for you to like to come on, you know, to come on that path. But I mean, the thing is, right?
I just can't.
Is that it's
not a challenge. I'm failing.
But that's your style, right? Like that's the style that you have. Like I think, you know, giving a bit of shit is.
But at the same time, I think you and I balance each other out
100%.
very nicely.
You're very good at the whole praising bullshit.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was mentored by you for 10 years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I've still got that in me as well. Like, I'm not walking around the shop being all like, dot the T's and cross the I's.
They're all scared of Claire. Everyone who's ever worked here is more scared of Claire than me.
Yeah, but do you know what?
I'm the one who ends up going, I'm really fucking sick of them. Get rid of them.
You know what? Like,
but then I have to do the dirty work. Because you're best friends with everyone.
I've already become best mates.
Yeah, because that's it. Because you're best mates with everyone.
I'm like, how can I fire this person?
Like you probably should have fired me like a fair few times, right? Like 100%. Like I was terrible. Like you talk about training. Like you're like, cool, there's your job. Like fuck, you know where everything is. Like sort it out, right? And I'm like, guy who's 30 doesn't want to buy a snowboard off me. Like, I don't snowboard. I didn't even snowboard at the time, right? And then we went on snowboard trips, and you were like, and like, what do I do on a snowboard trip? We all get up, and everyone's like, oh, man, it's going to dump 50 centimeters overnight, whatever. I'm like, cool, man, no worries. And so then we hit the slopes, and we all are on the two-ways, and I'm like, cool, I hit the slopes till like lunch.
I've just thought of an amazing story.
Best ever lunch, right? I get lunch and I'm like, cool, I'm done. Right? And we have lunch and then we come out on the slopes.
Athlete.
I do 1 or 2 more runs and then I'm out, right? I just disappear. I ghost everyone, right? Before ghosting was a thing, I'm ghosting everyone. And then I'm in the pub. Like I go to the bar and by 3 o'clock, I'm like 8 shots deep, right? 6 schooners. They're like, Tommy, where are you? Or back at the lodge. Hey! You know, I tell them these guys roll back in at 5 or 6. I'm blind. Yeah. Right? I'm like, what do we have for dinner? You know, I'm out of control.
I just thought of a story. Do you remember a trip to the station
Yeah, I do. I knew this was going to come up.
We tried. They have at the station. I don't know. They probably don't still have it because of RSA and stuff. But this is way, way back. They have a schnapps bar. And they have every single flavour of schnapps. And me and Tom, it was a shit day. It was raining or something. And we decided not to go to the hill. So we went straight to the bar. It was only early afternoon. And I remember saying to you, why don't we just try and drink one of everything? And we started drinking the schnapps. And they're if you've ever had schnapps, some of them are pretty sugary. And
yeah.
So we started knocking over the colours.
Yeah, there's like 18-20% ones, right? You can knock over like 20 of those.
And we had a crack at trying to smash the whole lot.
Yeah.
We were with someone else called Steve. So we won't say his that surname.
Oh, you already said it.
A mate, Steve.
No.
I don't think I said his surname.
No, don't say surname.
Anyway, bleep out his surname. This is the last time I ever saw him.
Yeah, it's the last time any of us ever saw him.
He was a mate of mine from fucking primary school. Right, and we decided to drink schnapps. So we got, and I don't know, we must have got 20 deep. I don't remember.
It was, yeah.
All I remember is being so blind that finding our way back to the room, and you're in a fucking hotel style.
It's like a 10 meters walk to your apartment.
Yeah. It was a whole thing. Then I was too hammered to know. I was sick for days after this. It was just a bad idea all around. Something happened that night where someone, I think Schmitty threw fireworks in the room.
So like shit got out of hand. We had a heap of fireworks and it just got out of hand, right? The keeper was there, Schmitty was there, and like it just turned into like, here's a big bag of fireworks, get them out and shoot them at each other. So we're like literally like shooting fireworks at each other in the room, on the balcony, like totally out of control, right?
Wasted.
And then like something goes down and Steve gets like all upset, like,
I think someone shot him in the face.
Yeah, and he was like,
which is probably like,
So anyway, he wants to leave, right? He's like, I'm out. Fuck you guys. And we calm him down. I'm like, dude, relax, and we're all like, and so then he's like, no, I'm leaving. He tried to get in his car to drive, and we were like, no. And then I think Smitty parked his car, parked behind his car, and we're like, cool, park behind the car, sweet. Steve, you want to lose your shit, you can't go anywhere, right? Driving. So we all go to bed. Next morning, I'm like first up, right? I'm like, yeah, sweet. I walk out the balcony with my cup of tea, and I go, oh fuck, rough night. And I look out on the balcony, and so like where Steve's car is, right at the station, right at the time, I don't know if it's still the day, right? They had these huge logs like bolted into the ground, right in front of the car, right?
The car from going up the hill.
So Smitty parks his car behind and thinks, oh well, he can't get out. No worries. And I get up in the morning, we go to bed, and I get up in the morning and I thought, oh, Steve's going to throw a tantrum and sleep in his car. No worries, it'll get cold, he'll come inside. And I wake up, Steve's on his bed, I'm having my cup of tea, and I look down at Steve's car. Steve's car's gone. Smitty's car's still there. And the log in front has, but you can see, like the little footprints in the snow. He's picked it up, moved it to the side, and then I can see the tyre track going up, weaving in between the cabins. All the way up onto the road, and off goes Steve. And we never saw him again. I mean, he's alive. We know he's alive, but we never physically saw him again. He never came back to the shop.
I've never spoken to him, never heard from him. He has my number. Give me a call.
Yeah.
Honest to God, like the alcohol level that would have been in his system, because he went with us. He was drinking with us. So I do not even comprehend, but he drove fucking 8 hours home.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Surely not. Surely he drove like 500 meters and then
I don't know, but
just got away from you guys.
He drove 1 kilometer and didn't hit something. It was a somewhat.
To be fair, it was like, and that was sort of like the crux of most of our snow trips. It was like they were wild and stupid.
It's funny.
Like for like firing fireworks at people's faces. Like it was like, if I can fire this firework and hit you in the face, I've achieved the job. If you are burnt permanently, then what a result! Like
it was bad. Like we were bad.
So stupid.
There were so many of those trips too where we were just out of control. I remember Kipper bungering some toilets on the way down to the snow, like trying to blow the toilets up on the side of the road. Like we were bad, out of control.
Yeah.
out of control. Like, this is why we went to a trade show a couple of years ago, and someone from another snowboard shop told a party story.
Yeah.
And all I could think the whole time we were selling stories, like, fuck, I have 700 of these stories.
Yeah.
And this one I've heard from you twice. So I know it's your only one.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, man, there's got to be hundreds. And I would never, and here we are telling them on the fucking internet.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
Tommy says one thing and you're like, oh, I remember another one.
Man,
Well, I will tell this one because I thought about it before coming here today, and I was like, oh, this is a great story. We have to tell it, right? So back when Borders around, when I was there, right, like there was a pretty distinct rivalry between Borders and Balmoral boards, right?
It was a friendly rivalry.
Yeah. But
Still
there was
is.
a rivalry, right?
Yeah.
And funny.
Hang on, you're thinking back to Balmoral boards.
Balmoral boards,
Yeah, okay, that wasn't as friendly.
No, this is not a friendly.
The guys in
rivalry.
Narrabeen West.
Narrabeen guys were
No. So funny story. The guys that now own, or one of the guys that owns Balmoral boards now, his kids actually are in the same year and go to the same school as my kids. And, great
Andreas,
people.
who is it?
Yeah, Andres.
Andreas.
Yeah.
Andreas.
Great people. But this was before them, and there was a serious rivalry.
So this is Mossman one.
This is Mossman.
Yeah,
this is the
Mossman,
reason
right?
I opened Borders.
Yeah, and so when you're about they got anyway. So they did this like snowboard jam thing at Newport Arms, right? Where they shipped in all this fake snow and a rail, and everyone went there and like sponsored. Like there were some people, Collaroy sponsored by Border with Borders on their, on their boards. But it was a Balmoral board sponsored event, right? Like Balmoral boards everywhere, banners, the whole bit, big event. Everyone's at the Newport Arms, huge, massive crowds. Al goes, oh mate, look, I don't know,
I deny all of this.
No, hang on.
I don't even know what's about to be said.
Hang on. You were like, oh yeah, are you going down on that? I said, yeah, I'm gonna go. Me and the boys are going down, and he goes, oh, okay, sweet. Well, I've got like 200 Borders hats there. You want to take them with you? I said, yeah, no worries. So I took 200 Borders hats with me, and me and the boys said, boys, we've got 200 hats. Just hand them out. And so we just handed out 200 Borders. Guerrilla Marketing 101.
Yeah.
And so we handed out Borders hats to every single person, like bar staff, the whole bit, right? Like we just rock it. And like these are my mates who don't even skate or snow. These are just pisshead mates of mine that I'm just like, cool, we're just going to go down and create trouble, right? And so we're handing out the hats, bar staff are wearing them, everyone is wearing them, right? Eventually we get kicked out. They're like, no, because Balmoral board guys are like, hey, this is bullshit. You got to take them off the bar staff and kick these guys out. And we ended up getting kicked out. The funny thing was like so many of the photos for the day, right? Great photos for Balmoral boards because there's like rail, Balmoral boards banner, but every shot they had to take of the crowd was just a crowd full of people with Border hats.
Yeah, that's how we did things.
It was just, it was
We did
heaps
it
of
with the
fun.
mini
Mate.
ramp comp
That's how
too.
marketing was. We sabotaged those mini ramp comps until the point at the Stain where they started asking us to run them because they thought we were the ones running them.
Yeah.
So that was guerrilla marketing. Still, I think, is one of the
It is.
great.
Remember we used to put the Borders stickers we had that snow trip. It was like, cool, it's 6 hours to the snow.
It's going
to take us 12 hours because we're going to stop at every sign and put a Border sticker on it.
There was
every road sign all the way to Jindabyne had a Border sticker on it.
At one point, we started getting bigger stickers.
Yeah, that's when we had the weird circle thing at the end.
The logo. We had big stickers so that they'd be more effective round corners, so we could put them on every single one. And it'd be like Borders. But yeah, it was a different time. Like there was no other way to market. Yeah. How do you hit the grungiest part of the market, which is what we were trying to hit? We do it with where they look.
Yeah.
And I still think it's a great way to market. We've started a climbing company that is trying to market along the same lines.
Yeah.
And I immediately put a few people offside. And
but that's the whole point of it. That's why it works. Because you're not playing in the middle. We did the same thing. It was someone else's comp. And we had every competitor wearing our shit.
Yeah.
So got them offside straight away. And we've only just started to mend that relationship now. It was not intended to fucking ruin their comp. It was intended to make sure everyone knew about us.
Yeah.
And with Balmoral, it was actually intended to ruin their comp. Really.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Alrighty, I have one last question.
Shoot, is this the Is this the? I've already dealt with the. Is there a?
With the what?
Oh, go.
Tell us about the 2007 grand final.
I told you this could go one of two ways.
What do you want to know about the 2008 grand final?
I want to know how you feel.
Which one? 2007 or 2008?
No,
Or?
2007.
2007.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us how you feel. It's the only time I've ever seen you cry, Tommy.
Yeah. It was shit. That's what it was.
That was
going to go full blown rant or shut down.
I'm going to give you 2 words that describe 2007. Cheating cunts.
There you go. End on that.
End of stuff.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you for
Thanks
coming on, Tommy.
You're the best. Really
Thanks for having me.